Tonight, I am dropping my 2 cents on last night's episode of Love and Hip Hop ATL. Let's get into these deets. Let's go. Hey, what's up, my Snoopers? It's your girl, Tony Michelle, aka Phatgyrlsnoop, and I am here to do my 2 cents of last night's episode of Love and Hip Hop ATL. If you are new here and you want to see more or hear more of my Phatgyrlsnoop shenanigans, please do not forget to share, like, and subscribe because it does a lot for my videos. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But if you are one of my A1 for my day ones, I just want to say I appreciate you all. Thank you all for, having my back and believing in me. Because, like I always say, I'm trying to make it out here. I already made it out here in the blog world, but I want to make it out here in this YouTube world, and I cannot do that without you. And I want to send a even more special shout out to all the ones that supported my merch. You know who you are. I appreciate it. And, you could get this on my website too at phatgirlsnoop.co, where you could also find, my blog, because, I'm still dipping and doing it in the blog thing too. Okay. So go ahead and check me out on there. But let's get into this Love and Hip Hop on last night's episode. So, I'm just going to, talk, about the characters on there, what character they focused on this week. I'm not necessarily going to go scene by scene. So, what I'm saying, just keep up with me, if you will. Okay, so I'm going to start things off with Moretta. Where is she at? Where is my girl at? Oh, there she go. She's so pretty. Hey, Moretta. She's so pretty. Well, this most recent episode featured her meeting up with her sister named Khadijah and her brother. I did not get his name, but they met up for some type of brunch. And Moretta was basically, telling her, how she felt about her mother. She has this thing where, she's saying that her mother basically, put men over her kids, prioritizing men over her kids. So her sister Khadijah surprisingly was very dismissive about Retta's feelings. She basically was like, she doesn't remember her mother being that way, but Retta was like, but you was out the house, you left me alone, so maybe there's some sort of age difference between these two. I didn't catch her sister's age, but her sister seemed like she didn't know what Retta was talking about. Her brother, was kind of agreeing, but just agreeing to the fact that, Retta is just basically speaking her truth. But the sister was pretty much dismissive and told her like, hey, you need to resolve this with mom, and you just need to move from the past. And this did not sit well with Retta at all. Now, later on, they all got together and they did one of these smash rooms. And I actually did this with my daughter for her last birthday. It's called like a rage room. And you go in there and you take all your frustrations out by breaking a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I was a little bit skeptical when she told me she wanted to do that. I was like, oh, you crazy? But then when I actually did it, it was quite therapeutic. But anyways, so they were, doing that. And then after that, they had a little talk or whatever. And she tried to explain to her mom and her, again, her feelings about, she's felt like, she was prioritizing men, over her kids. And she felt very abandoned as a child. And which her mother, Akila, and her sister basically kind of like tag teamed her a little bit. It was like, oh, that's not what happened. Like, you basically like you're doing the most. And they pretty much dismissed it again. Now, her mother, Akilah, is pretty adamant that she never prioritized anyone over her children. Now, she did acknowledge that she was in a few abusive relationships, and Amaretta actually felt like her mother was so embarrassed to actually admit the truth. And Akilah basically, they started arguing outside, and Akilah was basically, like, I ain't gonna put up with you disrespecting me, she basically called her weird. She said, you are weird for hanging on to, childhood issues. And she pretty much walked away. Now, my 2 cents is, and this is just my 2 cents, and let me put out my disclaimer, that this channel is for entertainment purposes only, okay? This is strictly for my 2 cents. Okay, this is why the page is called what it is. And my 2 cents, Akilah, is your daughter needs to go to therapy. Okay? Because you're not gonna admit on national TV, probably, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, because you don't want to get the backlash of putting the dangalang in front of your kids. That is just my feeling. I'm just saying now, rather, if anything, your mom and your sister are people. Okay? They just don't care. They do not care. You keep telling them how you feel. They keep being dismissive. I just say go seek therapy for yourself, so you can, have that, clear, aura, and just move on. But I do have a question for you, Retta. I do have a question. Now, my question to you is, because your mother brought up that this was done during your childhood. So was she doing this once she became your manager, and that's why you fired her? Or did you fire her after you put out the mixtape? I mean, the diss track. I know you say it's not a diss track, but it's your truth. But, your mom considers it a diss track. So, did you put out that song, and then that caused another rift, and then you fired her? See, I need answers about that, because, between your mom and Khadijah, they're both saying that this is all stemming from your childhood. So I really want to know why you fired your mom as your manager. I really do. So I think that was the straw that camel's back. I think that this track was a straw that camel's back, because you put your mom on blast. It is what it is. Actually, I could say that I'm not the perfect mother. I have issues. I was very hard on my kids, especially when it came down to education. I'm sure that they would say that. If my kids ever came to me and told me, Mom, XYZ, I'm going to sit there and listen. I'm going to bite the bullet. I would. I promise I would. But yeah, rather, I need to know that. I need to know, when your mom became your manager, was she still putting the dangalang before her managerial duties? And that is all for that. Okay, now, I want to talk about Kirk. Where you at, Kirk? Kirk, I knew when you did this, when you made this face, when you did this move right here, Kirk. I knew you was going to be full of ish. Okay? All right. So let's get into, because I have lots of questions for Kirk. Now, Kirk was in New York City, They started off the episode with the remembrance of DMX. We all know that he died at the age of 50 of an apparent OD. Okay. And so Kirk was, I had no idea that Kirk was from NYC, first of all. I did not know that. I was today years old when I found that out. But I was also today years old when he dropped the bomb that he actually has another son that lives in New York. And what surprised me is that, he did not know his son's age. He said, he may be 29, he may be 30. And then he said something like to the effect of like, he hasn't seen his son between 10 and 15 years. Now, according to Kirk, that happened because his son was, into the drugs really, really bad. And he was in the wrong crowd. And to Kirk, he felt like he tried to reach out. And he said that the son, didn't want him to see him like that. So that's why it was so long before, he saw his son. And I was like, okay, Kirk, all right. But, okay, so if you didn't see him between 10 to 15 years ago, and he's between the ages of 29 and 30, that would mean that he was like 14 or between 14 and 15. And you did make it clear that you did not have this baby on Rashida. And he put that out there. He was like, I did not cheat on Rashida. This was way before Rashida. Okay, I get that. You made that point very clear, but were you in a relationship with someone else? That is my question. Because the way you describe your son's mom was very snackerish. Very snackerish. Like, it was like, I didn't get relationship when you talked about how your son came into the world. And also I'm very confused too, Kirk, because when we actually got to meet your son, I believe his name was Chris. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But his name is Chris. And the first thing that comes out of Chris' mouth is, I haven't seen you since I was 12. So I was like, wait, Kirk said it was 14, 15, but he said it was like 12. So was he, on that, on them hard drugs during that age? I mean, that's quite a gap, Kirk. That's quite a gap. And I saw how you kind of like slid through that. I mean, even if, the age, that is a huge gap. You mean to tell me you have not laid eyes on your son since he was 15? Well, in your son's case, 12? And he's now 29 or 30? That's a huge gap, Kirk. Huge gap. So I'm like really confused about that. But I do like, I love the fact, and I'll take this back, Kirk. I did say I did not see a reason for you and Rashida to why you guys were on the show, because I feel like you guys like outgrown the show. But it was good to see this side of you. However, is this it, Kirk? Is this the last of the kids? Is there any more kids that we have to worry about? Please, Kirk, this season, introduce us to all your kids. Because I thought, Just, because, I'm not ready for no more surprises, Kirk. I ain't ready. Somebody tell me in the comments if you know how many kids Kirk got. I think it's about what? It's got to be like six, maybe 7. Somebody let me know in the comments about that. Well, let's move on to Miss Rennie Richard. Where is she at? Oh, she's so pretty. Now, if you don't know who she is, we just got introduced to her. She is a new cast member of the Love and Hip Hop. So glad to see it. She is the second one that rose to fame, off of TikTok. Where her little clip of her music played on TikTok and they was doing challenges. Y'all remember that song? Look like an IG model, walk like a bottle, body shaped like a Coke bottle. I'm not a rapper or anything. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, her. So, I'm glad that she is on the show. I think that she is very, very talented. We got to meet her kids. I do like her for the show so far. I love her grind. I love that she's just not sitting back. She's like out there working, networking. She is still with Gucci Mane's 1017 Records rapper. His name is Fucciano. Let me pull a picture up of Fucciano. Now, this is Fucciano. Got that chocolate skin. Good hair. I can't even pull this picture up. Come on, make it bigger. Yeah, there we go. So she is still with Fucciano. Now, he is known for his single Molly, and he was also the one who was sentenced to 5 years in prison for skipping house arrest. Now, do you guys remember this story? Now, his name was his real name is Khalil Brown, and he was arrested back in December 2020 for possession of a whip. I'm not going to say the word, because YouTube has been flagging people, unfortunately. He had the gat. And he got, basically arrested because he was a convicted felon. But he was released on $50,000 bail with the condition that he remained in Georgia and he had to wear an ankle monitor. Now, here is where things were crazy. Now, his ankle monitor was found on the side of the road in Barrow County, and Fucciano was arrested in Memphis, Tennessee on March 11th after they said that he actually burnt his ankle monitor off, and he basically went ghost. They did apprehend him. The U.S. Marshals did apprehend him at his funeral. At another fellow Gucci Mane label mate. I guess he passed away, but that's where they found him there, and that's where they arrested it there. But the funny thing is that they actually let him, finish the funeral, let him attend the funeral, and then they arrested him. Like, they gave him that much courtesy. I can't believe they gave him that much courtesy after he basically destroyed their government property. But yeah, so he claims that he did what he had to do to get that ankle monitor off because he wanted to see the birth of his, sixth kid or seventh kid to be born. No, 6 kids. He has 6 kids. So he took off the ankle monitor to see his son being born. But even after that, he didn't turn himself in. He stayed on the run. But what I understood understood. Like he dropped like little like videos and stuff while he was on the run. Yeah. So he also, what I did find out is he was also one of the ones that was named in that that nightclub shooting that happened. Apparently, Fujiano was performing on stage, and somebody tried to grab his chain. A fight broke out. A gun broke out. Some people died, I believe. A woman was shot to death when that happened. So, they were going after him. They were suing him, and along with Gucci Mane. But that case is actually still going. Yeah. And then what I also found out too is that remember he was also the guy that went after Trey Songz. Remember there was a video going around of him. There was a video going around of him while he was in jail. I'm not sure who was taping it, but there was a video of him. This is Fuji in jail, and when he found out that Trey Songz, Mr. Still Your Girl, by the way, put this picture on his Instagram live, Fuji went crazy. He went crazy. He basically told Trey Songz that when I come out, I'm gonna beat your, HEASS till you can't sing no more. When I get done with you, you ain't gonna sing no more. I mean, he was mad. He was like 110 degree hot, okay? But I'm sure he'll be over it in 5 years because that is how long he's gonna be in jail. Like, my question to you, girl. Let me get them off my screen. Bye, Triz. Okay. I have a couple of questions, right? So, you seem to have such a strong family background. Rennie, you seem to have a very strong family background. And I just couldn't imagine. You're so pretty. You're so talented. I don't see you spending this, your streaming, your TikTok, your love and hip hop chants on the guy's commissary. This guy had 6 kids. 6. Are you really ready for that smoke, girl? I don't know. It's love. I mean, what's love got to do with I'm just saying. He got a lot on his plate. He don't even care about his freedom. It's the fact that he don't care about his freedom for me. And this man didn't even want to do it for his 6 kids. I'm just going to leave it like that. That's just my 2 cents. He's out here living reckless, and you want to spend your coint on this man's commissary. Girl, you ever watch that show Love After Lockup? Dante, you better tell us. This man probably got like 5 girlfriends in jail. But at least you know where he at, girl. Okay, moving on. Um, this dude. Safaree. Clearly, you have not listened to your mother. It was the fact that Safaree said that the only reason why he went to New York City for the DMX thing is just to get away from Erica. He said anything to get away from Erica is a good thing. You said that on national TV. But on the flip, so let me guess, because I did a story about this. Safaree. You said that it was the editors and the producers that chop and screw stuff. We all know that they do that, but did they chop and screw that when you said that? Did they chop and screw that? So we've seen Safaree, basically doing the DMX tribute thing. We also see him hang around with Kirk. He did express with Kirk that seeing how Kirk was going to meet his son after 10, 15 years, that, he's hoping that Safaree is saying this, that he's hoping that he does not have that same relationship with his son. Well, the way that you're showing us Safaree by going to Jamaica when he was born, well, not when he was born, but while he's in ICU, wait till he rolled back that beautiful bean footage. My daddy was in Jamaica riding dirt bikes and eating jerk chicken while I was in ICU. So, and Safaree also, don't say that you hope that you and your son's relationship don't turn out right, like that. Tell us that it's not going to turn out like that. Because Kirk has no excuse why that relationship is like that, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, just at the end of the day, it's no excuse for it. So then we see Safaree meet up with his mother. Safaree's mother, I love her hair, by the way. It's so beautiful. But she meets up with Safaree, and she basically tells Safaree what we've been telling Safaree, that what you're doing on Twitter is stupid. It's dumb. It's embarrassing. Not only for me as your mom, but it's embarrassing for you and your wife. It's ridiculous and it's childish. So Safaree says that he's never going to do that again, that from now on she's going to be Empress Erica, and he's going to act right. But like I said, in today's time, Safaree, after this thing was taped, you're still out here doing these shenanigans. So, you're not listening to your mom. You're not. And so let me ask you this conversation with your mom, was that bad editing too? Was that the producers chopping and screwing it up? Safaree, you need to get it together. For real. Because right now you have a young lady and a young man to raise. And, you're saying, oh, I didn't know it's going to be so hard. Well, guess what, buddy? Welcome to life. Okay? So that's pretty much all I got to say about Safaree. Safaree, just get it together. And then he claims that, he was happy about the her new pregnancy. But, it's crazy because, the way he reacted, well, he says that was like chopped and screwed. But at the same time, when y'all were on that couples confession thing, you said, well, Erica put you on blast. You said that the reason why, before, she got pregnant with this baby, the reason why he didn't want no other kid was because she got too fat. And he didn't like her body while she was pregnant. He wasn't turned on by her at all when she was pregnant with Sapphire. That's what Erica said. I'm not saying no allegedly. That is what Erica said. But yeah, that's all I got on Safaree. And lastly, Sierra, I got some questions about you, girl. Okay. So I don't know what happened between like the first episode and what is this, episode number 4, number 5? So the last time I was today years old when I found out that Sierra is having beef with her sisters. I do understand her beef though, and I'm gonna tell you why. Her sister, her name is I didn't even catch her name. I think it's like Claudina or something like that. Claudia. But Sierra allowed her sister to work in her shop. And her sister does makeup. And by the looks of her makeup, this is Sierra's sister right here. By the looks of her makeup, I mean, I think she does a fabulous job. I think she does good. I think she's talented. But Sierra had beef because, her sister basically was taking advantage of the situation. Sometimes when you work for family, you might take advantage of the situation, because family's not going to charge you like how they would charge somebody else. You're not going to be charged a certain fee like how, Sally down the street would get charged, would charge you. You know what I'm saying? Family looks out for family. So she looked out for her sister, had her sister work in her shop. Well, her sister then turned around, started to be argumentative with Sierra's other staff. She was leaving her makeup everywhere. She wasn't cleaning up. She wasn't paying no booth fee. And she was basically acting real saucy. Okay? And Sierra was like, you gotta go. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to treat Sally down the street that is going to charge you booth rent, that you do got to clean up after yourself, that, what I'm saying? You're not going to treat Sally down the street like that, because you're going to be coming out them pockets, with them coins. So, the sister became really salty about that. So, but I was like, so this happened between then and this time, Sierra, when y'all was popping bottles? Because y'all was just popping bottles with each other. Y'all was just popping bottles. Look at that. Celebrating you getting rid of your ex's ring. Y'all was just in there popping bottles. So what had happened? I don't understand. I need clarity on that, but they was about to fight, okay? Because they, Sierra invited her sisters to some type of like lunch with her mother. Her sisters came. They were like, I think they're like fraternal twins. She's one of them, this girl right here. And they were basically, Sierra was just going off saying that, you took advantage of the situation. And yes, I threw you out because you was, doing X, Y, Z and you wasn't paying no rent. And it's and then the sister got mad. It was like, why should I have to pay you rent? Why should I have to pay you rent? They were just going, back and forth and back and forth. And then Sierra was like, well, you just mad because you want to be me. Everything about me, you want to be me. You want to be me so bad. Like, you just jealous. And it was about to fight. It was about to be a rumble and a jumble. And then the twin sister jumped in, tried to stop him. The mom tried to stop him. And I mean, it was just ugly. I was just confused. Like, 1 minute you guys were popping bottles, and the next minute y'all fighting. Like, I mean, was she paying booth rent then? Were y'all mad at each other then, Sierra? I need answers for that. But that was a real confusing to me. But I do love Sierra's hustle. I think she's so pretty. Um, she wears her heart on her sleeve, and clearly she was trying to, help her sister, and her sister, took advantage of it. So, oh well, you know what, Sierra, you don't owe nobody a damn thing. You don't owe family nothing, okay? And like you said, no one got out in the mud and got out, hard in the paint, like you did to get your success. And girl, you don't owe nobody nothing, especially no grown people. You owe them nada, girl, so keep doing what you do. And that is my time for today, my people. Let me know what you thought about last night's episode of Love and Hip Hop ATL. And what would you rate it? Was it kind of like slow, like I feel like it was, or were you actually feeling it? And do you think Kirk was full of ish? And we all know that Safaree is still full of ish. And if you was Rennie Rucci, would you still stay with a man who's doing a 5-year stint, possibly more, when this other case finalizes? I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. And if you like my Fat Girl Snoop shenanigans, please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because your girls out here trying to make it on these YouTube streets. And remember, you can catch me every day on my website, Phatgyrlsnoop.co, where you can find my blog as well as my merch like this. And I thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys being here. And remember, my snoopers, that is PHAT, as in, that's right, pretty hot and tempting. Bye for now.